Okay, you've been around a long time. Aside from the Rolling Stones, you're one of the only British invasion groups that's still around. Mm-hmm. Any secrets to your longevity?
Well, I think actually there is some. I've thought about it a lot because it's a question that comes up in every interview. It's bound to, you know, with, say, the Kinks, you know, the Beach Boys, the Stones, or the Moody Blues, or whatever, you know. So it's. I'm not really sure why. You know, because we love doing it. Because it's real fun, and I wouldn't want to ever let it pass me by, and I'm kind of hooked on it. There is, on a serious note, some kind of search for some sort of immortality in there. I think everybody who writes, any books as well as music or painting, you know, there is that, like I say, that need for some kind of to pass something on, and but basically we're here because it's fun and it's a pleasure, and that's as long as it's still that, then that's as long as it goes, it'll go on. Yeah. I think 60s pop music is probably built to last, you know, better than 70s ones.
Yeah, well, it was all plastic.
Yeah. Also, there is another thing, is that you'll see today that the bands that are, the very new bands now, the ones that'll be around in 5 years' time are the ones that can go and do a gig. And our success was built on the fact that we could just go anywhere and do a gig, you know. I mean, we're here tonight, we're doing a gig. Yeah, we can do a gig anyway, you know. Yeah.
Just the basics.
Yeah. As long as you can do that and you're just not all sort of programmed and, oh, I have to mime, you know, and it's all... Okay. As long as you can just go anywhere and do a gig.
What do you think about the whole Milli Vanilli thing?
I think it was a shame that they were made a scapegoat, because, I mean, so many other people, particularly in England, so many other people do that. And they're all like, they're all sniggering there at Milli Vanilli because they just haven't been caught. But it's like that all the time. It's like all these, you know, you've got all this stuff in England with, there's three writers, guys, who are great writers. They're called Stock Aitken and Waterman. They write great songs. But they manufacture the whole thing, and all the artists like Kylie Minogue and all these people, you know, and Danny Minogue and that. And they're just, they can't, I've seen them, they can't actually go out and you know, they can't play live. All they can do is go and mime. They do a mime show to their record, you know, so it's kind of a fine line. At least Milli Vanilli, I always thought, looked great and they could dance, you know. Give them a try, they might be able to sing, I don't know.
Yeah, they are supposedly trying.
Well, good for them.
Got a voice coach.
Yeah, good for them.
Taking over there, they got the dance moves down.
I think they're probably more famous for cheating than they would have been if they hadn't, you know. Probably the best thing ever happened to.
Probably made a turning point.
Yeah. Sure.
When you look back on the music that you were making back in Birmingham in 1964.
Well, I wasn't, because I was in Swindon then, but yeah, the rest of the guys, I'm the only one that's not from Birmingham, yeah, as a matter of fact.
But you moved in with...
yeah, that's right.
In what year exactly?
Well, John and I came to the band in early '66. Yeah. The band had already been going about 18 months. That's why the other three guys had been going, and then blah, blah, blah.
The album, okay, then let me
sure.
rephrase this. The album that you first made with the band.
Yeah.
When you listen to that now.
Yeah.
And you hear the music that you're making in the studios presently.
Yeah.
Does it sound? Are you proud of it, or does it sound?
Well, you see.
Do you go, ooh, I wish I would have done this differently? Anything like that?
No, I don't wish I'd have done anything differently, as a matter of fact. I don't look back. Once the recording is done, that's it, it's over, it's finished. I'm only interested in the recording I'm going to do next week, not the one that happened last week. And we made a lot of recordings. Our very first album, as such, was an album called Days of Future Past, which was just such a beautiful album that I listened to it, well, I suppose a couple of times a year, and I like to put it on in the morning, you know, and wake up to it, because it's only now, 25 years later, that I can look back on it and think how beautiful it was, really, you know. I can be detached from seeing it as a recording session and what was happening on that particular day. I love it.
Yeah.
Right. Now what we got to do here.
Yeah.
We're going to show you the different albums.
Oh, okay.
You can say a story or any feeling that pops
sure.
up when I hand when I hand you this, just tell me what you think of what pops out of your head.
Okay, well, this is Days of Future Past, so it's the very first album that we made. Actually, I think, no, this is not the original cover. This is a cover that came along later. This was made as a stereo demonstration record. And we didn't have a recording contract. It's just that the label, which was Decca, it's London in America and on the DRAM label. It was the beginning of the DRAM label, and White Shaded Pale and all that other stuff was on the DRAM label. And, oh look, there's other stuff that was on the Decca label. All this weird old sort of middle of the road stuff. But, oh look, and there's the Moody Blues.
The Moody Blues!
But, you see, here's me in a picture on the back here. Very important production meeting, DRM's production team. It was just like an office though, it was just set up, we just set up for the photograph. But like I said, it was a demonstration record to demonstrate that stereo could be as interesting for rock and roll as it was for classical music. It was made as that, nothing more, nothing less. A few disc jockeys got hooked on it and away it went, and suddenly 5 million copies later, Nights in White Satin comes out as a single, is #1 all over the world, and blah blah blah.
World fame and fortune.
Well, not quite. It came along about 3 years later when people sort of finally got onto the Moody Blues.
And then out came...
Yeah. Well, this was our first real album, in so much that the record company, when they saw what happened to Days of Future Past, that they said, hey, you know, God, these guys, there might be something in this. So they gave us free rein, and this was the album when we had to do it ourselves, you know, without anybody else's ideas or without any orchestra or anything like that. So this is a very wonderful album, and it expressed a lot of our own, well, the psychedelia that I personally was going through, and along with a whole other generation then, and I've been initiated into transcendental meditation and all that kind of stuff. It was great. I really loved it. And this is I love all these pictures on the back, you know. You have to spot the guys that are stoned. There's one that isn't, but there's 4 that are. There you go.
Which one is it? Right to it.
I'll leave that to you, but... What?
Is it Mike?
No,
What, Mike, it's not?
I don't think
You're
it's
kidding.
Michael.
Joking. And this picture's the same too. That was in the studio. And and this, there you go.
What year was this? Where all these pictures were taken?
This was 1968.
2 years out.
Very funny. I mean, you can just see them. It's just a group of guys having a lot of fun and really enjoying themselves and making music that really made them happy. And that was what it was.
And beginning a legacy.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Right.
Wow. Oh, you've missed one out, but this...
Yeah, we've only got a few.
Yeah, you've only got a few here, but yeah, I like this, you see, because you can do this on this album. And you sign it. Does it work? I don't know whether it works on the camera, but...
We get the general idea.
You get the general sort of idea. And when people give us this album to sign, it's like a race to go and end your signature there, you see. But yeah, I mean, this was our idea again. I love this album, as a matter of fact. It's probably our least selling album.
You wouldn't mind, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Show us how
Demonstrating for the
Yeah.
Man on the Street team.
Yeah, like I said, this is our least selling album, but it happens to be my favourite. And see, like that, you see. And well, it was just when America was putting a man on the moon and all that kind of stuff, and we thought this would be a gift to our children's children. That's what it was made for. There we are sitting. Sure, I mean, we went through that. Somebody just told us in Reuters a few weeks ago that when they were, the guys were going over Iraq, you know, when they're bomber things, there was some guy playing Days of Future Past on his headphones of one of these bomber pilots, and a couple of the guys in the band were saying, "God, isn't that great?" And I was saying, "Well, I don't know, because that reminds me kind of our music went through Vietnam as well, you know, and it's. I hope it helped the guys that were out there. That's all. So there you go.
Spooky stuff.
Yeah.